rock that beat.
So I mentioned this in a previous video, but if I sound weird or if I'm coughing at all at any point in the video, if I don't edit it out, then just know that it's because I've been sick for the past like couple days, and it's getting better, but it's also not getting worse. But or it's not getting better, it's not getting worse, but you know, it's just kind of whatever. I'm just gonna try to record to the best ability that I can right now. I'm trying to just do everything to the best ability that I can, especially because I'm probably going to be going out of town in a couple days or so, depending on just what happens with my real life and my family and stuff like that. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the newest episode from My Hero Academia, and something that I actually noticed about myself and what I've said about the previous episodes just before I just hit record was there were some episodes where I said that not a lot happened, but I've noticed that I probably shouldn't really be saying that, because this season, or this part of this season, isn't really mainly about action. There's going to be action, and I 100% can guarantee that, because this is a shonen anime and the action's going to look really cool. But this is more so like a plot, intrinsic season or like arc for this particular season that we're watching. And just off of what we got with this episode and what we got in the previous episodes, it's really good. And, I really do like it. I do like the characters that are, in the season so far. And it's dark. It's dark and it's gritty. And I think that's something that we have kind of missed out a lot for the previous seasons of My Hero Academia. The only recent arc that really got to like the nitty gritty and like the dark, depressing mood was the beginning of season 3, but then afterwards it just kind of went back with the kids and what they're gonna do until they eventually get into the next year of UA high school. So now that we have them doing this in this season, or at least four of the main cast, it's definitely very interesting. It's very interesting to just kind of see them interacting with the pros and see how, pro hero work is going on, and how most of them kind of are trying to like follow along, but it's kind of hard to do so because, well, they're still kids, they're still teens, they're still adolescents, and they don't really know what's going on. And most of the information that is supposed to be told to them is kind of being held back, and so most of them don't think that it should even be around interacting with hero work like this at all, specifically with Overhaul and Hasaikai. I don't know, just how I'm gonna pronounce it. If you don't like it, go watch someone else. That's just my pronunciation. I know I'm probably butchering it, because I butcher a lot of names from all types of different shows, no matter what I do, but either way, I'm still going to be super embarrassed about it. So the whole point of this episode was just to kind of give off more information that the characters don't know and that some of the viewers may not know. Because if you watch the manga, read the manga, if you read the manga, then you already know what happened and what's gonna happen. But for me, I didn't read the manga because, I just didn't want to read it. I wanted to, see how they were gonna animate all this stuff. But, excuse me, again, I'm still sick. So if I take like a second to just catch my breath or, clear my, nostrils, I apologize. But the whole point of this episode was just to give off information that the characters didn't know, and for the people who are watching that didn't read the manga don't know. And basically it was kind of just to say, that, yeah, the Hasaikai have this drug that is able to go after specific part of the genes that a human body has that specifically ties in along with quirks. Because in the episode we actually learned a little bit more about quirks, and that people's quirks are tied to their genes, and there are genes specific to their quirks. And Eraserhead, Aizawa, his quirk specifically goes after the genes and deactivates them, but not to the point where it can damage them. the drug that was in context of the previous episode was specifically attacking those specifically and was damaging them. And we were able to, see that happen with Tamaki because he was hit with one of the bullets that had that drug. And they also had found one of the bullets that still had, the drug still in it because of Kirishima. Because of his hardening quirk, it bounced off his head and didn't hit anybody else, so they were able to see what the contents of it were. And they found human blood and cells inside of them. And the only person that they could really tie that back to was Eri, the little girl from one of the previous episodes. The daughter of Overhaul, Chisaki, is that what they called him in the episode? I don't remember. They're using her, blood and cells to create a drug that specifically goes after quirk genes to deactivate quirks and stop them from working properly or just working at all. And that is super dark because they also explain what Overhaul's quirk, does, and it basically, he's able to disassemble and then reassemble things, through his will. From his own will, he's able to basically do that. And basically what they're insinuating is that in the episode, he's destroying parts of her body to be able to create this drug, just so that way they can go after the pros and stop them from whatever they're possibly planning. We don't even really know what they're planning to do yet, and that's super dark. And of course, Miro and Midoriya are so frustrated because they had found this little girl and they could have saved her. They could have saved Eri, but they didn't because of what Night Eye said. Night Eye said, don't cause any suspicions for the investigation. And even though Midoriya really wanted to save her, regardless of that fact, Miro was thinking ahead of time and was just following along with what he was told. And they're both super frustrated with themselves. And I really like how it shows in the episode that they are frustrated. They are angry with themselves with how they allowed that to happen. So the episode continues on after the fact, and they're still trying to come up with a plan, and basically they're trying to figure out a specific location of where they're keeping her at, and that's why they called along other hero agencies to help out with the investigation. And Eraserhead actually also mentions that why doesn't Night Eye look into the future of all of them? And he explains that he only has a 24-hour interval before he can do that. So that's why he can't do that. And he can only look into one person's future for an hour. So, there was kind of that question in mind, sort of. I wasn't really thinking of it like that before. But now that that's explained, I'm glad that, that thought has been, or that question has just pretty much been answered, and I don't really need to worry about it. But it does kind of suck, and it also does bring back the, the whole All Might is going to get into a gruesome fight and death of a villain in a possible near future. So we're going to have to wait until that happens, eventually, of course. And the whole episode's just kind of centered around them trying to come up with a plan, and they're just gonna try to find where the location of Eri is at in the next episode, and that's pretty much just what the episode was kind of all about. It was a whole bunch of exposition kind of put into one episode, but it definitely makes me more invested into Eri, the girl, because I feel incredibly bad for her. Like, the fact that she's being tormented like this, and she's completely terrified. And after they do the end credits, they actually show her, at one of the facilities, one of the places she's hiding, she's being hidden at. Overhaul wants her to be comfortable and, feel like she can trust somebody. And that, of course, there's reasons as to why he's doing that, but she reflects back on when she first met Midoriya, and it was the first time she ever met anyone that held her with such kindness, and she gets super emotional about it. And it's so sad and frustrating that she's going through this terrible thing. I'm invested now, and I want to see her get rescued finally and be saved by Midoriya and Miro. And it's incredibly sad and it's incredibly dark and depressing, But like I said before, I think this is something that My Hero Academia kind of needed. It kind of needed something to be dark and depressing and show the gritty reality of being a hero and the repercussions that do take a part of being a hero. Because even though All Might was the symbol of peace and did everything with a smile, there are gritty realities of being a hero, and that you just can't hide. And the fact that he's finally realizing this, and and interacting or experiencing this, it's good for his character and it's good for his character development, and I'm really happy that this is actually happening. So yeah, that was the episode. I really liked it. It got me way more invested than I thought I was going to, or even more invested than I already was, but that's kind of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. I apologize if the commentary was at all off at any point. I'm really sorry. That's just what happens when you're sick, and that's kind of just the only thing I can really say is I'm sorry. So if you did enjoy for whatever reason, be sure to leave a like. If you aren't subscribed for more videos like this, I'll see you guys in the next one, which will probably be really soon because I also have to record the Boruto episode because it's Sunday. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.